This is me beforehand. Before the puke extravaganza that happened. So this was the second to last night, and I have been drinking all night because I've been on shift and I was being a pirate, and I was drinking whiskey with the people who came up to our cafe. And then I started to feel like the alcohol sort of like take hold. I was like, oh, getting a little drowsy. Of course, someone in my camp who will remain nameless came up to me and was like, oh yeah, I heard you felt a little drowsy. Would you like a bump? And I was like, bump? I have no idea what you're talking about. And he was like, oh, you just take this and put this in you. And I'm like, oh, I will take that and put that in me. Whatever that means, no idea. So I take a little bit of that, put it inside me, and I'm ready to ride. Woo! Am I ready to ride? And I ride on out. Woo! I'm having a great time. 3 fucking plus miles from our camp, all the way out to this, which was at the trash fence. And like I said, that's the eye, that's where it is, at the trash fence, the border of Burning Man. All the way down here to center camp is 3 miles. And then it's even a little bit more, like maybe half a mile back to our camp. So we went 3.5 miles on our bikes all the way out to this eyeball, out at the edge of the fucking Burning Man. But it was a quick trip. It didn't seem like that long. So we went out there and we were fucking dancing and having a great time. And I'm drunk and I'm bumped. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Wee woo, wee woo. And then I get into my head. I said, hey babe, I'm in a mood. Can I see your vape? And she was like, so I hit that shit and nothing came out. I was like, she's like, no. You got to really pull off it. I'm like, okay. And it all goes down deep into my lungs. And it sits there and it scorches every little whatever tendril of fucking thing I have in my lungs. And I start immediately just like every third cough is almost a puke. And she's like, are you okay? I'm fine. No, it's fine. I'm just a little... And it would not stop. So eventually, she's like, okay, maybe we go home. And someone else from our camp was there with us. And he wanted to go home too because his lower back was really bothering him. It was Link, our camp lead, actually. And at that point, I was probably twice, if not 3 times, as stoned as I'd ever been in my entire 44 years on this earth. I was so out of it, I was barely verbal. Like, I hit that point and I was just like, she resorted to like, just nod. Do you want to go back to camp? So we got on our bikes, 3.5 mile ride back to our camp. One big thing, I guess, that I had forgotten about what THC does to this guy, it makes everything take forever. We, like a lot of people do, out in the middle of the playa, you look for this guy. You look for the man, because the man is your beacon. Once you get there, you could probably find your way home. Part of me is still out there riding towards the man, because it took about 3.5 years. Almost as soon as we crossed the man's path, Link's bike pops a flat, and we all stop. And I'm stressing, like, why are we stopping? Why are we not home yet? It's been 3.5 years. Why have we not gotten home? And Katie looks at me and she goes, do you want to get off your bike and help Link and walk our bikes back home? And I sat there and didn't say anything because my brain was debating on, like, is this the time where I need to be selfish and take care of myself and get home. Can I get home from where I am? And by the time I got there, like, I was trying to think of all the options. She just looks at me and goes, we're getting off our bikes and we're walking. And I went, mm-hmm. So I get out off my bike and we proceed to take another year and like maybe 2 months to get from where we were back to our camp. All told, it took us around 5 years from the eye to back to our camp. I'm sitting there trying my hardest to lock my bike up. Wow, why? It won't do. It won't do the thing. I got the word, and it was a word lock. You've seen those locks with words? Because they're easy to remember, right? I swear to God, it took another year just to get my bike unlocked and then relocked. I got it though. I eventually got it. And Katie was sitting there letting me do it because she knew she took over for me. I might like be like, I got it. So she was just like sitting there patiently waiting with her elbow on her seat. Like, not saying a word. I'm just like, I want to do it. She took me back into the, into our Jeep, which we had dubbed from previous years doing stuff, illicit substances, our safe dark place. That was just for us, which just was the back of our Jeep that we had made into a bed. So we got into our safe dark place and she tucked me in and she gave me cookies and beef jerky and she made us dinner, which at that time we had like one of those boil in the bag stroganoffs, Mountain Man stroganoffs, dehydrated meals. And she fed me like a child. She boiled the water and she put it in the bag and she was like, here you go. I'm like, and I did not want to move any part of my body, least of all my head. So every time I was ready for another bite, I shit you not, I did the Clockwork Orange. I was like, and she would shovel another bite in my mouth and I'd chew it. And then I go. And then I finally got tired enough. And so Katie and I are used to sleeping with like a show on or something like that. Some sort of white noise. So we brought her iPad out there, her iPad. And we put on, God, what were we watching? Labyrinth, I think it was. So we put on Labyrinth and I sat there in my little spot, eating stroganoff, watching Labyrinth. And I eventually and gratefully drifted off to sleep.